And we're live again. Hi everyone, hi, I'm ALL the Cryptic Hybrid. Welcome to today's live stream. It's, what is this? It's Monday. Yes, it's Monday. The day we just have to survive through. Monday, July 30th, 2018. And we're gonna play Perseverance Part 1 today. Now, Perseverance is an episodic visual novel that was released last week, actually, on the 23rd. So it's still, it's a week since release, but you can still get it for the launch week price, which is 25% off the base price. So if you're interested in it, check the link in the description below. Within the next 2 hours you can get it for just $261, down for from $330. So the game is pretty cheap anyway, even without the launch discount. Now Perseverance, again, part 1, episodic. This is just the first chapter, but it does promise 3 hours of gameplay, I believe. At least that's what its Steam page says. Around 3 hours, obviously. It's an estimate, and it's a game about survival and redemption, and probably some tough choices. Hi Matt, hello. So let's go right in and play Perseverance Part 1. The game has partial control support. I'm gonna play with a keyboard and mouse because that's feels really good like that. And yeah, let's go. New game. Yes, I'm gonna start a new game. Yes. For Kate. We don't know who Kate is. My name is Jack. So Jack is one of the main characters in the game. There are 2 main characters, a Jack Cutter, and then there's also a secret agent that we're gonna see more. Hi Jim. My name is Jack. Don't worry, you don't have to remember it. I'm going to die soon anyway. Well, that's unfortunate, Jack. I mean, happens. I don't write these words to be remembered. I just want to explain how we ended up like we are now, how and why that mankind collapsed. How come I was the one to witness it? Well, if mankind collapses, I'm guessing there will be a lot of people who witnessed it, because there are a lot of people. To be honest, I just happened to be there when things started to get out of control. I was a simple guy, born in the mountains, always drawn in by the wilderness. But my parents wanted me to go to college. They worked hard and saved money only so they could send me there. I had no heart to refuse. If anything good came out of this venture, it was Natalie. When I first saw her, I thought she was an angel, fallen down from the sky. So, well, isn't a fallen angel a devil? But okay. We kissed, we made out, it was like heaven, but as soon as the world opened up before me, another force pulled me back to Earth. My father was diagnosed with a terminal case of cancer. I went back home, back to Grayville, a small town in the middle of nowhere. The one thing that kept this place alive was a nearby military base. Nobody really knew what happened down there, but everybody sure loved talking about it. Ooh, some Area 51 stuff. They said that the military conducted human experiments, or that they kept UFO, stuff that made kids go and watch, much to their parents' dismay. But I digress. What you need to know is, my father died. I was left alone in my little hometown without any education. Well, you still had your mom, right? No? I couldn't get a job at the base, and the town didn't have lots of offers either. Why would you just leave at that point? I mean, okay, see, because this is the thing, is like, oh, I was alone. My father died and I was alone. Okay, if your father died and you were alone, and your mom wasn't alive either, you could just go anywhere else. You don't have to stay in the family home. It's you could try and sell it, go, I don't know, go west, go to a bigger town, go to New York, go to LA, go to Boston, go to Washington, I don't know, go to Austin, Texas, go anywhere. Just, if nothing is keeping you there, then why complain? Thankfully, my angel didn't forget about me. Natalie called. I asked her to come, So she did. When I proposed, she gave me a serious look and said, "Kneel before me, man." I looked her straight in the eye, smiled, and just kissed her. I promised I would never kneel before her and that I would always be there for her. I don't have to tell you that she accepted my proposal. I had to wait for her to graduate. Once she got her degree, I convinced her to move to my part of the world. Why? Why would you do that? If she was a college graduate and she could find a better job, why not go with her and find a job in the place where she's... We got married. She got pregnant. Twice. In the end, Hope was our only child. "10 years later, I found myself with another kind of angel. Natalie became the angel of death that wanted my manhood on a platter. Well, dude, I don't think you have much manhood, to begin with. Because, if you had manhood, maybe you could have seen the opportunities to go live somewhere else where there's more job options. Stupid as I was, I didn't care. I fought back. Great. Another family drama. Another broken home. Are you totally out of your mind? Wait, let me save. Can I save? I can't save apparently. Look who's talking. Come on, can't I save? Oh yeah, let's save. Free slot. Let's go for live stream 01. Okay. I want to try to save often. Okay. Hope is 11. She's just a little girl. A girl! You know how to recognize one of them, right? Are you serious now? I'm dead serious. I'm not letting you take our daughter on a hunt. Why? Do you really want her to be this clueless broad who can't tell right from left, always dependent on others? You're making her a cripple, which she isn't. Really? Jack, she's 11. She still has time to learn how rough the world can get. She's not a child anymore. You should see her when she's out there in the woods. You should see how smart she is and how quickly she learns new things. But you never... But I never what? Nothing, forget it. I can't believe that you were just about to say it. You know why I can't be around the forest. You know the whole story. I trusted you with it, and yet... You really think I don't want to be around my family? That it's not important to me to be close to you and Hope? That's not what I meant. Screw you, Jack. I followed you back to this place so you could take care of your father's house and his legacy. Whatever it is. After 12 years I still can't figure it out. Can you? Yeah, dude, you're kind of a loser. I refused to stay at college and work on my MD because I was in love with you. You promised me happiness. I believed you. I believed in you. Well, that was your mistake then. I'm working my fingers to the bone at the hospital to bring something to the table. I know it's not a banker's job, but I'm doing my best. Well, or at least she has a job. What's the value you are bringing in? Exactly. I mean, really, dude, what are you bringing in? If it wasn't for this falling apart town and this part-time jobs, you wouldn't bring any money to this family. You should have gotten a degree. Well, you didn't have to get a degree, but at least, go somewhere where there's opportunity. If you had one, you could get a real job. Okay, wait, see, that this is where she's wrong. It's not like only college degrees lead to real jobs. That's her being, a little bit, too pretentious. We could stop worrying about money and the mortgage. We could be happy again. I could be happy again. What are you trying to... I sacrificed enough. I gave you everything. Don't you accuse me of being a bad mother, got it? Nat, you know I appreciate everything you do. I really do. I just wanted to teach Hope something useful. Hunting is a way of bringing food to our table during hard times. When real winter hits, I'll need her to give me a hand from time to time. I'm not letting you teach our daughter how to shoot animals with a goddamn gun. You know what? Maybe I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to if you had given me a son. Ooh, come on, that's stupid. Come on, I really is this really a conversation? Really? There are times when we don't pay much attention to what is really going on. It all comes down to survival. The survival of ego, expectation, and control. The urge to win and gain an upper hand becomes so powerful, it makes us blind to the fact that we are hurting our loved ones in the process. Okay, let me save. I can't believe he said that. I mean... What, he wanted a boy? Okay, so... Ficky more until you get a boy, what can I say? Alright, so we can apologize, remain silent, or persist. You know, that was a stupid comment, so let's try to apologize. Nat, I'm sorry, No, you meant it. I thought that we left this terrible memory behind us. I thought you were over it. But I was wrong, wasn't I? After so many years, you still hold it against me. Do you hate me, Jack? Nat, you know I love you. This isn't love. Come on, dude, stop saying that bullcrap. This isn't... Come on, this is not love. Yet you bring it up. You don't care how much it hurts, do you? Yeah, come on, dude, you don't love her. You don't love each other. Come on, let's be honest. I'm going now. I don't feel like being around you right now. I know I won't change your mind about the hunting. You'll do as you please. Just be careful with our daughter, she's all I have. Jesus. Jesus, Jack. I shouldn't have been so rough with her. Okay, that's not exactly roughness, it's just a stupid thing to say. I probably should have gone by myself and never brought up the subject. I didn't expect it to become such a drama. Where are my car keys? I need to get moving. What am I going to say to Hope? I've already promised her. Promise her what? To go hunting to shoot animals? Come on. Hey there, Hope. What are you doing what are you doing out there? Come inside. Was Mom crying? Mom doesn't feel very well, sweetie. We need to give her some time. It's not true. Why weren't you yelling? Is it because I told Mom I didn't want to go hunting with you? You don't want to go? Why? Why didn't you tell me? We always have so much fun watching wild animals together, Dad. I just don't want to shoot them. Hey, Tomato, hello. I was afraid that you'd get angry if I told you, so I told Mom. But now you two are fighting because of me. Because of me. I wouldn't... Look, it's not your fault. If there's something you don't want to do, just tell me. I won't get angry, I promise. I'm sorry, Dad. It's fine, Hope. There's nothing to be sorry for. What were you up to anyway? You should have been back from school an hour ago. Nothing? You're playing near the military base again, right? Hope? Yeah, but there's so many trucks and I saw soldiers and... I told you that Murphy's base is not a place for children to hang around. Nobody knows what is down there. Maybe there are aliens from another planet who came to Earth to kidnap children. Yeah, and they can read your mind, and if they see you, they can replicate your body. Have you been watching scary movies with Mom again? Yes. No, well, kind of. Mom was watching alone and I couldn't sleep, so I slipped in and watched with her. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is not a children's movie, wouldn't you agree? Well, yeah, it was really scary. Serious now. No one knows what kind of operations they are running at Murphy's. What's behind that fence. I know you're smart, so I trust you. Can you promise me you won't go near the base alone? I promise, Dad. Good girl. Maybe the aliens didn't see you, or maybe you are one of the replicas. Where's my beautiful daughter? Give her back, you monster. Hope, can you hear me? Dad, it's me, come on. I knew you were in there. I'm coming for you, sweetie. I just need to fight this abomination first. Gar! Dad, it tickles! I would give away everything to bring back those moments with her. seeing her smile and feeling the pure love and joy around her. If I was ever truly happy, it was when I was with her and Natalie. Back then, I took it all for granted. I just didn't pay enough attention. Alright, sweetie, I need to get ready for the trip. Can I come? Not this time. I need to take my time and do some thinking. Trust me, it's going to be super boring. But one day you'll take me with you again, right? I don't want to hunt, but we could still go bird watching together or something. Of course, sweetie. I'll take you with me next time. Great! Can I bring my plush rabbit along? Sure, of course. As long as you keep an eye on him. Where is he anyway? I don't know. I think I lost him again. Have you tried the attic? No. I don't like going to the attic alone. When I come back, we'll look for him together, okay? Promise? I promise. Okay, I'll go look for Mom. I think she's in the kitchen. Wonder what she's up to. She's probably preparing something for you, Dad. You think? Sometimes I wonder why your mom sticks with a clueless guy like me. I'm wondering that too. The same thing. I also wonder that. I mean, you're a loser, dude. Come on, let's face it. You're a loser, and you for some reason, that woman, you know, the mother of your child, decided to be with you in this crappy town that, you know, you insist on in being with. I don't know. Yeah, weird. People are weird. People are weird. Because she loves you. Come on, really. Let's cut the L word out of this game. Come on. How do you know, detective? Because she told me so. I love you too, Dad. I love you too, sweetie. Now run along and make sure you clean up your room before I'm back. Dad? Yes, Pumpkin? Do you really wish you had a son instead of me? Okay. It's okay, Dad. I'll go see how Mom is doing. I'll clean my room before you're back. And that's how you get screwed up kids. By saying things like that. Jesus. As she was walking away, I caught a glimpse of a tear in her eye. I had no idea of the damage I had done that day. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. You just got yourself a broken child. I'm still trying to figure out what malign force drove me to act like a bastard to my family. Maybe it was my short temper or my lack of restraint. Maybe it was something else. Ooh, the aliens. Having a son had always been my dream. I would imagine teaching him everything my father had never taught me. Taking him out into the world, watching him grow and mature. Yeah, like you can't do that with a girl. Jesus Christ. Arm wrestling with him and sharing a glass of the same malt, discovering he became a superior man and feeling proud. But when Natalie got pregnant, I was as clueless as a parking meter. We lost our unborn baby. I messed up and lost my chance of becoming what I have been destined to be, a father of a son. Oh come on, destined to be the bull crap. That's such bull. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to realize that things which really matter in life cannot be bought, borrowed, or made. Wow, congratulations, dude. You just had to, ruin your life and the life of 2 other people in order to realize that. Congratulations, you're a genius. They just appear and disappear as soon as you stop taking notice. Once they are gone, it's impossible to bring them back. It's hard for me to see Hope like this. I know she wants to look tough when she's around me, which should be more often. I'll look for her plush toy once I'm back. She's very attached to it, and no wonder Mr. Rabbit has been with us since forever. Wonder where she lost him this time. She gets distracted sometimes. Anyway, I need to get ready. I've got a 2-hour drive to make and it's already getting late. Having a woodhouse is great, but driving to the country's edge can get tedious. I should drop by Bob's gas station and pick some supplies. I made you some sandwiches for the road. See, despite you being so nasty to her, she still made you sandwiches. Thank you, Nat. I want to tell you that I'm really hurt by what you said earlier. but I don't want to talk about it right now. You got me thinking, Jack. Thinking about you, about us, and about our future. Come on, you don't have a future together, let's be honest. Nat, let me finish. I realize that I'm responsible for my own happiness and shouldn't burden you with it. I decided. What did you decide? I decided I'm going back to my studies and that I want to get my final degree. That is what I always dreamed of, after all. I remember you mentioned it a while ago, but I didn't think you were serious. Are you? Why wouldn't I? For starters, this is a huge decision. It will impact our lives. Don't you think we should at least talk about it first? We are talking about it now. Listen, I know we aren't on the greatest terms right now, but this is a big deal. I only hope we can talk it over more before any decision is made, okay? Besides, what about Hope? I trust you, Jack. I know you didn't mean what you said earlier. You were always a good father, and you are still. You will take care of her. To be honest, I realize that I carry my share of guilt too. I found myself competing with you for Hope's love. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't agree with everything you do, but it's life, I guess. None of us is perfect. We just need to put in effort and make it work. And I know that it won't work if we keep living the same way, away from what we truly want. I want to become a physician, and that's what I'm going to do. Do I get to have a say in this? Do you want to stop me? I don't know yet. Well, what do you know, Jack? Wow. You were supposed to say, I know I love you. You know I do. Yeah, but sometimes it's nice to hear it from your husband. Makes you feel appreciated. Damn it, Jack. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am a bit frustrated right now. I feel stuck, you know? I understand. But I'm not changing my mind about getting a degree just like that. It's too important for me. We'll figure something out, Nat. We'll talk about it once you're back. I meant to ask you, is the roadster working? Yeah, I fixed the suspension and the front tire. It should be fine. Last time it ran out of air. Bob came to the rescue, you know. Really? Our Bob? Well, ain't he a stand-up guy? It's not every day a girl gets rescued by a tall, muscular, handsome man. That's a jab. What's wrong? Are you jealous? Take it like... Wait, let's say first. Let's see. Options are... Take it like a macho, shrug it off, or confess your feelings. Well, honesty is the best policy, right? Maybe I am a little jealous, yeah. You know how strong he is. There's something mysterious about him too. A mysterious man with dark hair and dark eyes. I was watching him change the tire with his big hands. He seemed so powerful yet gentle at the same time. He was so focused and determined to do his job. Oh, just thinking about him makes me... Stop torturing me, woman. You're jealous after all. So cute. I need to get ready. Yeah, I've got to run some errands too. Don't forget your sandwiches. I won't. Thanks, Nat. I love you. I know you do, Jack. Call me once you reach the cabin. Well. Oh, phone call? And here we are, our secret agent, our mysterious woman, the other main character. Reporting in. Oh, what's your status? The tracking device works perfectly. I'm 15 clicks away from the target. She's on the move but appears slow and random. Doesn't look like a challenge. Remember your protocol. Do not make a mess. Try to bring her alive if possible. She might be valuable. Yes, sir. We inform you that there is another asset operating in your area. Should your efforts fail, he will move in. Understood. We're counting on you. Thank you, sir. Ooh. Okay. Bob's Station. Okay, let me save quickly. Save. Bob's station. Okay. Almost everything I needed was at the cabin, but I had to pick up a few things. I decided to stop at Bob's. I didn't feel like roaming around a supermarket, and besides, it was the only place to buy gasoline in a 30-mile radius. That's not how you spell radius. I also liked the owner. Bob wasn't his real name, but it was how he introduced himself. He told me his real name once, but I wasn't able to pronounce it correctly. His shop was the only place where you could score proper booze. The temptation was firmly there when I approached the door, and I struggled with it. On the other hand, alcohol would sure help me relax. On the other hand, I'd have to spend all my money, and I had little to begin with. Hi, Bob. Jack, good to see a familiar face. Like you see any other faces around here. You'd be surprised. I doubt I've ever seen as many new people as during the last 2 weeks. Huh, how come? Beats me. Ever since they built the highway, there was almost no traffic around here, especially at this time of year. But hey, who am I to complain? The more customers, the more money comes in. Anyway, what brings you here? Off for a trip? Yep, I feel like I need some time off. Where's Hope? Isn't she coming with you? No, not this time. That's a first. I thought you were trying to teach her survival skills. She seemed into it. I still do. It's just... well, I had a big fight with Natalie over it. Do you want to talk about it? Natalie gave me a lecture about kids and responsibility. She said Hope didn't want to learn about hunting. It turned out to be true. Hope admitted it. I don't know what to think of all this yet. Sometimes I feel like the worst father in the universe. I must admit, I see where they're coming from. Shooting prey wouldn't be my cup of tea either. What? You too? Guess this makes me the last barbarian in town. No, I like animals. They're living beings just like us. Instead of killing, I would rather protect them and admire their beauty. Alright, whatever. You know I wanted to become a vet once. It didn't work out though. I'm still paying off a painful loan for trying. Well, hunting isn't only about killing. It's about going back to your primal self. It's about tapping into your true instincts. It actually teaches you to respect nature. Well, maybe. It still ends with the animal dying. I believe you have another kind of strength. For example, Natalie seems to be pretty strong and capable enough to provide for you guys, even though I doubt she has ever shot an animal. Yeah, about that. Aren't you and Nat getting too familiar with each other? What do you mean? She told me you're her handyman. I just wanted to do a good deed and help a woman in need. A knight in shining armor. Where's your horse, chief? Same place yours is. Okay. What can I get you, Jack? I'll have a lighter, some batteries, and a few of those energy bars. Oh, and a flashlight. Last one I had is dead. Do you have bandages? Sure thing. Great, I'll take one. It's safer to have some. Should I get you the usual order as well? Actually, I still think I have some left in my cabin, but... Okay, so should we buy booze or don't buy booze? I'm gonna save you. Okay. Let's not buy booze. Let's be actually responsible for once in our lives. I think I'll pass this time around. Okay, so just a flashlight, a bandage, some batteries and energy bars. Here we go. Here you are. Thanks. Keep the change. Bob? Yeah? You said that there are different kinds of strength in the world. I think you're right. And I want my daughter to have all of them. I want her to be ready for whatever life throws at her. You're a good man, Jack. Your heart is in the right place. You just need to find your way. Got to do my best, I guess. Have a good one, man. Bye, Chief. I had everything I needed. I intended to go straight to the cabin, leaving all the worries behind for a while. I was looking forward to getting away from the issues at home and focusing on something else. As I was putting my supplies into my car, I noticed something strange. A young woman was strolling down the roadside. At first, she caught my attention simply because she was coming from outside of town. The longer I watched her, the stranger it seemed. She looked to be around her 30s, but she was dressed more like a teenager. I was pretty sure she wasn't from around town either. I couldn't figure out what she was doing there all by herself. Her clothes didn't suggest that she had come for a hike. They were far too thin for the time of year, and she wore heavy makeup. It was smudged here and there, as if she had just run away from a bad party. I thought that maybe her date went south and some guy threw her out of his car without a warning. She looked confused, but strangely enough she seemed happy at the same time. I decided I might as well talk to her. I mean, wouldn't you be curious too? I guess. Alright, let's save. And well, let's be polite, right? Hello, miss. Hello, angry mister. I'm not angry. My name's Jack. I'm Jane. Is everything alright? You look a bit lost. Well, I guess I am. Where am I? You're in Grayville. Oh, wow. Never heard of it. Is it pretty? Wow. Aren't you a little, worried? How did you get here? I don't know, really. Should I be worried? I have no idea. How come you don't know how you got here? I'd rather not say. It's embarrassing. You can tell me. I might be able to help you. To be honest, I have this condition. Sometimes I forget things. Like, literally. It's what happens if you live the way I do. Which is? I don't make much waiter things, so sometimes I volunteer to take part in a test. Do you know what a test is? Not really. When a pharmaceutical company wants to introduce a new drug to the market, or a bunch of shrinks want to take a look into your subconscious. You sign some papers, swallow some pills, get examined and get paid. Simple. Unless you die in the process. Or you get invited to a random location where they put you with some other people in an unusual situation. Then they observe your behavior in the group and file some papers. I'm basically a part-time lab rat. It still doesn't explain how you got here. I walked for the past couple of miles. Some random guy picked me up and dropped me here. And prior to that? I guess I was taking part in the test. I think it got to do something with food. What was it about? I told you, I don't remember. Besides, you're asking way too many questions, Jack. Is there someone we could call and ask to pick you up? That's another question. I guess we could call Jeff, but I doubt he would pick me up. Who's Jeff? My cat. Okay, it seems that you're doing fine. I'm hungry. I'll be going now. Wait! There's one thing you could help me with. Yes? I'm a little cold. Okay. Let's save. So we have the option to give her our jacket. Give her some money. Okay, let's help her out. Give her a jacket. There's a jacket in my car. Wait here. Here, you can have it. Thanks a lot. I'll borrow it for now, but I'd like to send it back when I get home. I didn't think you're such a kind person, Jack. You remind me of someone. Of whom? I can't remember his name. He was a guy working at the science facility. They were testing some new medicine and I volunteered. I remember he looked kinda glum, like he was disappointed. He would stare at me through the glass window. I thought it was cute, as if he was too shy to speak. Anyways, would you give me your address so I can send your jacket back? Sure, I'll write it down for you. Here. Thanks, Joe. I'll send it back with some gifts. Jack, listen, talk to Bob at the station down there. Ask him to fetch Hal Gifford for you, okay? He's the sheriff around here. He'll help you. Hal Gifford. Got it. Gosh, I'm so hungry. I need to eat something. You'll figure something out. Sure. See you around, Joe. Jack. As I watched her walk away, I was pretty sure I'll never see the jacket again. Then again, I wouldn't be myself if I just left her like that. Okay. It was already getting late, and I still had a long way to reach my cabin. As I wasn't a big fan of driving after dark, I decided not to waste any more time. Let me save quickly. Okay. With my favorite band on the speakers, I turned on the engine and hit the road. The route I had to take wasn't popular since most of the traffic moved up the highway. On the other hand, it was good for the town with less cars moving through. On the other hand, little traffic was bad for businesses such as Bob's. It was bad for businesses in general. If it hadn't been for the military base employees, the town would have dried out. A few miles out of the town, I saw a woman. She was leaning back against her car, smoking. She appeared relaxed, enjoying the moment. Oh, this is the agent. Seeing her in the middle of nowhere, chilling, having a fun feeling, gave me a funny feeling. She seemed to be okay with being by herself. I thought I could use a company like that. Back when I assumed she was just another solitary soul passing through, never to be seen again. I began to understand what Bob was talking about. Seeing new people and all. For a second I thought about stopping and enjoying a smoke with her. It's not like I would be cheating or anything. Would be? Never mind. Before I had the chance to make up my mind, I passed her and kept on driving. I had no idea what was coming for me. It took me forever to reach my father's land. I was tired and didn't know why. For a second I thought about the woman from the gas station. What was her name again? Jane? Weird one, that one. I never actually met someone who got involved in various tests and experiments for a living. The forest had always given me a sense of peace. My father had bought a large piece of land back when he was in his 20s. I was sure I wasn't sure what had been his idea for it, but since he was gone, the land belonged to me. You know, you could have sold it. You know, sell it and be done with it. If I had known any better, I would have started a plantation of some sort. Oh really, you want to grow weed? Come on, dude. Or chop down part of the trees and sold them to the highest bidder. But I knew that there was something else about this place and about the cabin. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was drawn to it like a bee to a flower. 20 minutes later, I finally reached the cabin. Alright, let's save just in case. Hidden deep in the woods, it was nearly out of reach. It was a place where I could cut off the constant noise. That was exactly what I needed. The sun was down already. I stopped in front of the door and enjoy the silence. Enjoy the silence. That Jane must have been a junkie or a hooker. Probably both. I might have made a mistake by giving her my jacket and address. There's no way she could have just appeared in Grayville out of nowhere. She probably had her pimp looking for her. The sheriff would take care of it for sure. I wanted to enjoy the forest tranquility, but I couldn't. A dog was barking somewhere in the distance. I thought it was just a stray mutt. After a few seconds, the barking stopped. I let out a heavy sigh and opened the door. I instantly felt the familiar smell of wood and old blankets. Oh, somewhere else, maybe in the gas station at Bob's. Ooh, is that blood? That definitely looks like blood. Oh, what the hell? Is that a pill? What the fudge? Inside the cabin, Friday night. Well, evening. Alright. First thing I did was find some matches and build a fire. Oh, that's lovely. It was a long time since I had stayed at the cabin. The air inside had gone stale. The furniture was covered in thick dust. Judging by the smell, a fungus had crept in somewhere. It felt like home. I didn't really have the energy to take care of it. As soon as I got inside, all my weariness caught up with me. I tossed my back onto the bed and sat down beside it. The worn-out wood creaked under my weight. I thought that I'd finally have a chance to relax. I was wrong. Okay, who's calling me? As soon as I sat down, my phone started to ring. The usual cheering ringtone was now almost painful to listen to. I remember the times when you needed to walk around the house to get a signal. Now these bloody things can catch up with you even in the middle of nowhere. I reached down for my phone and checked the screen. There was a single name on it. Natalie. Right, I was supposed to call her. Was it already time for an aftermatch? Can't say I was ready, but I couldn't simply ignore her either. Hello, Nat. Hi, Jack. How was the road? Oh, it was fine. I just got settled. Listen, about earlier, I think all has been said, Jack. Can you please just for a second stop pretending like you know it all? Okay. You're right. I'm not over what happened to us. But all I wanted was for Hope to be happy. I wanted to spend more time with her. That's why I suggested we go for a hunt together. Did it ever cross your mind to actually ask her about what she likes? Nah, the kid is 11. She doesn't know what she's into. I can give her a hammer and a bag of nails and she'll be into carpentry. She's just a kid. It's up to us to show her the options. I think you're underestimating her. She ain't a small kid anymore. You said it yourself. Well, I think you're overestimating her. Guess we're in a pickle here, aren't we? Guess we are. I can't stay mad at you, Jack, even if you hurt me at the core. I'll make it up to you, Nat. Anyways, the hospital just called. Apparently they got some hard junkie case over there. I need to take a nighter and put Hope to sleep early. Is she going to be okay? Yeah, don't worry. I asked Hal to check on her later. He said it's fine. When Hope's out, she's out for good. Speaking of the little devil, she wants to talk to you. Hold on. Hi, Dad. Hi, sweetie. Mom said there was something on your mind? Yes, I was thinking very hard about hunting and I came up with a great idea. Listen. I'm all ears. What if instead of shooting animals we catch them? We could later bring them home and tame them in the backyard? I would take good care of them and... Hope, sweetie. Wait, let's save. Okay, so it's either a terrible idea or a great idea. Let's go for great idea just to you know, go along. That's a great idea, Hope. It was an awful idea, I know. But hearing how proud she was of her idea, I simply couldn't bring myself to break it to her. Sadly, I'd always been a poor liar. You don't sound convincing, Dad. Well, you see, we can't just tame wild animals. They're much happier in the wild. That's where they belong. Then, maybe we could at least get a dog? I always wanted one. A dog can protect me and Mom if something scary happens. And he can be my best friend. Hope, we talked about it already. A dog is a huge responsibility. And with me and Mom working, we couldn't be able to take care of it properly. I could take care of it by myself. Maybe this way Mom could come on a trip with us. She wouldn't be so scared of the forest if there was a big dog next to her, right? We'll talk about it when I get back. But Dad... Anyway, I hear you'll be staying home alone tonight. No scary movies, okay? Okay, nothing scary, I promise. Don't tell Mom, but I'll be watching Princess Dragon. Princess Dragon? Aren't you a bit too old for a fairy tale? It's my favorite movie. How do you think it's a fairy tale if you haven't seen it? How do you know? Well, I asked you to watch it once with me, remember? You never did. We only do things you want to do. I'm sorry. I'm busy, okay? I've been busy. Yeah, because you're always sitting in your shed with your monster car, or you're out somewhere far without me. Have fun by yourself, Dad. Wow. That was kind of rough, but true. She hung up on me. That was the first. It wasn't the proper way to act for a child. I realized that I never noticed how quickly she became like her mother. She was all Natalie, alright. For a moment, I just sat there staring blankly at the screen of my phone. As soon as I had nothing to really focus on, all the thoughts I've been trying to suppress throughout the day started to come up. Thoughts about Natalie, thoughts about Hope, too scared to tell me that she didn't want to spend time with me the way I thought she wanted. Tears in her eyes when she asked if I would rather have a son, and the discussion we just had. I knew I would need to face these things eventually, but not at the moment. Back then I just wanted to rest. Was that too much to ask for? With a heavy heart I got up and started searching for my loyal companion. I found her lying behind the bed, waiting for me. My beloved, golden blended whiskey in a bottle. If I had known that so many thoughts would catch up with me, I would have bought an extra one when Bob had suggested so. No. Alcohol is not the answer, Jack. It's not the answer, okay? Stop it. Get help. The bottle felt heavily in my hand, full of golden liquid. I looked down on the table, only to notice something unexpected. Hey, look, old man. Isn't it your favorite band? These days, thoughts about my father rarely crossed my mind. So when I saw the label, I couldn't help but smile. How many times have we drunk it together? Twice? Once for my 21st birthday, and once again when I came back to take care of you. You promised to drink with me again when my first child was born. You ran out of time, old man. I knew that if I took a sip, this conversation would go south. That's why I decided to drink or go to sleep. What should we do? What should we do? Let's go to sleep. Avoid drink. That was too much excitement for one day. I didn't feel like indulging myself on a drunken trip down memory lane any longer. Besides, I was looking forward to some quiet time next day. I put the bottle away and dozed off. Somewhere else, a secret agent. Reporting in. What's the status? She's on the move again. I found her tracking device. It looks like she ripped it away with her own teeth. Oh. I've spoken with a guy who saw her at the local gas station. Seems she got tangled up with local authorities. Nothing I can't handle. This better not influence your schedule. It won't, sir. Good. You have 24 hours to contain the situation. Keep a low profile. Yes, sir. The additional asset has been involved, by the way. Once the target is contained, we will have another task for you. Understood. Maybe, is that the woman that we found, maybe? Ah, it's morning. That night I slept like a baby. To my own surprise, I woke up fresh and energetic, which is rarely the case. It didn't take long to realize why. When I looked out the window, I noticed that the sun was already high. I must have been out for at least 10 hours, wow. Which meant I had wasted my first day. No animal I was interested in would be active in the middle of the day. I opened the window to let some fresh air. A cool breeze carried the smell of pine cones and wet moss. Stirred a feeling of nostalgia. However, I couldn't dwell on it for long. I heard that barking again. The dog had to still be out there somewhere. What's wrong with this damn mutt? I closed the window, but it got me thinking. Why would the dog still be out there? I decided to check it out. Leaving it like this could be dangerous, especially if the dog was aggressive. Stumbling upon it during a hunt would end badly. Alright. Would end badly. Well, I grabbed the pocket knife from the shelf and my bag with Natalie's sandwiches. The stuff I had bought at the gas station was still inside. I took my rifle too. If the dog had rabies or some other disease, it will fall onto me to do something about it. Ooh, come on, do you want to shoot the dog? Armed, I left the cabin. Ah, nature. It's lovely. Peaceful, quiet. It's like another world. Following the barking was difficult. I couldn't use any of my usual tracks, so I walked into the forest blindly. Whenever the dog went silent, I was left without any clues where to go. So I just waited patiently for it to start making nosy again. Can't say I really minded. In the end, a chance to spend time surrounded by nature was the reason why I had come here in the first place. Fortunately, but oddly at the same time, it seemed that the dog wasn't moving at all, like he was just sitting there, barking the whole day. Wandering through the forest took me almost 2 hours. It must have been long past noon when I finally found it. Oh, I had expected many things, but not what I saw. Instead of a stray mutt roaming around, it was a dangerous looking hound tied to a tree. And it looks like it's been hurt. He was a magnificent beast, big and sturdy. And I didn't know much about dogs, but even I could recognize a purebred when I saw one. Looked like he had spent at least a couple of days in the forest. He was a bit dirty, but still healthy and strong. There was a blood wound on his neck. The color must have cut his skin when he struggled to set himself free. Some bastard must have left him here to die. If I laid my hands on the guy who did this... Even just thinking about it makes me furious. Someone decided to leave the animal to starve to death. Like he couldn't leave it at a shelter. And why? Out of shame? Because it was a long drive? These were all trivial. Yet they were both. Yet there we both were. Right. Quickly save. Well, the dog is cute. Hey there, buddy. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Easy now, easy. I tried to approach the dog, but it turned out more difficult than I had expected. I had to focus on keeping all my fingers intact. First of all, I had to free him somehow. Touching the collar was out of the question. Tinkering with it at this point would cause him too much pain. Cutting the rope seemed to be a better option, but I couldn't do it without getting closer to the dog. I needed to somehow gain his trust. Alright, save. Okay, let's see. So, approach the dog head on or approach the dog from the side? Head on? With the rope tied to his neck, I could more or less predict how far the dog could reach. That's why I decided to approach him head on. In the worst case scenario, I would just get out of his range. Easy, doggy. It was a poor choice. He didn't attack me, but he definitely felt threatened. For he took a step back and bared his teeth, wrinkling his nose. I could see it in his eyes that he didn't want to fight me, but knew that he cannot run away. If I got any closer, he would snap. Let's see. Right. Avert your gaze or look him in the eye. Well, looking in the eye usually with dogs get them a little bit, you know, upset, so avert. I didn't want him to feel challenged, so I gave him space by averting my gaze. I was still a little worried from how he would react, so I watched him from the corner of my eye, ready to back off if needed. But it seemed that the dog finally gained some confidence. He started to wag his tail timidly. Alongside the fear, I caught a glimpse of curiosity. The fangs were still there, but more of a reminder rather than a weapon ready to be used. He was waiting for my next move. I finally got my chance. We were still far from friendly terms, but that was about to change. I reached my bag and opened it slowly. The lovely smell picked the dog's attention immediately. I had something no meat eater would be able to resist, especially not one that had just spent a few days stranded in the forest. I fished into my bag and pulled out one of Natalie's sandwiches. I'm sorry, Nat, it pains me to do this, but it's a necessary sacrifice. I know you would understand if you would hear. With a heavy heart, I grabbed one of the sandwiches Natalie made for me yesterday. It was probably not the healthiest food for an animal, but hey, he probably didn't care. Time for worrying about nutritional values would come later. I ripped the package apart and threw its contents near the dog. It disappeared faster than I had thought possible. The dog must have been here for days. Oh, poor doggy, poor hungry doggy. Wow, you must have really been really hungry, huh? Yeah, exactly. Aw, good boy. No worries, there's more of it. I unpacked 2 more sandwiches and tossed them to the dog. With his fangs out of my way, I finally had the chance to take care of the rope. It was a thick one with a polyester cover. I didn't know much about ropes, but if I had to guess, I would say it was probably used for climbing or sailing, somewhere where durability counts. Well, wouldn't durability count freaking everywhere? Right, if you make a rope. The knot used to tie it around the tree wasn't trivial either. When the animal tugged in an attempt to free himself, it only grew tighter. At this point there was no way to untie it, not with a pair of sharp teeth ready to bite my arm off. I needed to cut the rope somehow. The problem was that I wasn't sure if I was prepared. I quickly recalled all the things I had with me. I could use... well, let me save. I could save the pocket knife. Well, an obvious choice. What else is a knife for? Sadly, it wasn't that easy. The knife was pretty dull, still useful for things like opening cans, but not so much for cutting. With a rope so thick, it would take ages before I got through even half of it. I needed something else. Okay, so energy bar, probably not. Batteries, Natalie's sandwich, that's no. Flashlight or rifle. Well, I don't think I would use the rifle on a freaking rope. Let's use the flashlight? No, just no. There's no way to use a flashlight to cut. Wait, I have an idea. A flashlight itself was useless to me now, but the light bulb could be used for various things. Starting a fire was one of them. Oh, I thought that he would use the bulb. I thought he would just cut the light bulb and then use it to cut the rope. Okay. I took the flashlight apart and picked up the bulb. Okay. So we need to make a fire. I guess a battery? I intended to use the batteries I had bought at the station on the flashlight, but so far I had neither the chance nor the need to do it. I took one out of the packaging. I had all the things I needed. Now was the time to set my plan in motion. Oh my god, he's going to burn the doggy alive! Using the pocket knife, I broke the light bulb to explode the tungsten filament. Then I placed it under the rope and carefully touched the base of the bulb with the battery. Okay. The filament lit up immediately. The heat allowed me... Really? That would work? That would actually work if you put a battery on it? I would really like that to happen. Like, I would like to see that. I should destroy a light bulb and see if it actually works. Probably not though. As I was... sorry, the heat allowed me to melt the cover of the rope, which made cutting it much easier. As I was cutting the rope with my knife, I kept watching the dog. He sat there and was growling from time to time. I knew that he would attack if he sensed hesitation or fear. Dogs respond to emotions. I focused on the rope and tried not to think about him snapping at me. It took me a couple of minutes, but eventually the dog was free. And then it jumped on you and ripped your face off. Hey buddy, your prison time is over. Ah, what do you want to do now? Not that you have much choice. Sorry mate, but you look like a typical lap dog. Staying here is out of the question. Plus, your neck looks pretty bad. Someone should take care of it. Perhaps I know a guy, but I need you to come with me back at my cabin. It's an hour walk from here. So, what do you think? Are you up for a stroll? I take that as a yes. It probably wasn't a yes. The dog was still wary and rather hesitant to follow me. No wonder. It was impossible to tell how long he has been tied to that tree. Thankfully, last of the sandwiches did the trick. Oh, look, the woman! Somewhere else. So she was taken to a hospital. Okay. Alright. One second, let's save. So, well, maybe, so I thought that that woman would be the one the agent was looking for. Maybe it is the case. Well, we'll see. We'll find out. But first, let's take care of the doggy. I was able to lead the dog all the way back to the cabin. I pulled my phone out and called for reinforcements. I knew how to patch up small scratches, but this guy needed someone more skilled than me. Ah, this guy. Hi, veterinarian boy. Hi, Jack. You remember? You must have been good with ladies. Yeah, sure. I need your help. You know a thing or two about treating animals, right? Yeah, a thing or two. Why? You had a change of heart about shooting animals? No, I still hold my point. But I found a dog tied to a tree. Some bastard left him here to die. He's in a bad shape. Did you beat up the guy? No, I couldn't, but I wouldn't if I had the chance. Anyway, the dog needs your attention. Wow, I mean, it's awful. Just let me just grab my gear and be right there. Are you going to leave your store unattended? Yeah, 2 hours won't hurt me. I've earned the weekend's money, this weekend's money already. The troops that arrived recently at Murphy's base left a lot of cash, not trash. Sorry, cash. All right, thanks, man. See you soon. Oh, look at the doggy. That's so cute. Okay, let's save. Save again. Bob came earlier than I expected. My guess was he has been speeding all the way. Hey Jack, where's the patient? You don't waste any time, do you? Over there. It took some convincing to get the dog to walk through the door, but in the end the prospect of a warm place to rest won him over. Bob approached the animal slowly. He clicked his tongue to get the dog's attention. Then he extended his hand so the dog could smell it. Unlike me, he seemed to know exactly what to do. Bob reached down to remove the collar. I wonder if he would be able to keep his hand intact. Fortunately, he was. Not only that, he also managed to clean the wound, even though the dog clearly wasn't happy about it. The animal began growling and leaning away, but the fearless man grabbed him firmly. The dog calmed down. Although I wouldn't openly admit it, I was impressed. I would never guess that a simple guy from a gas station knew so much about handling animals. To be honest, I used to look down on him. I didn't know why exactly he had abandoned his studies. He seemed amazingly skilled. I doubted it because of poor markets. Alright, I did as much as I could do. This wound isn't actually that bad. His neck is swollen and there are some bleeding, but the cut wasn't deep, and he's a tough little fellow. But remember, in the end, I'm not a specialist. You should take him to a professional. Yeah, I know. It's just that there's no vet around here, and driving this fellow back home with that wound would have been pretty hard on him. That's why I called you. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be open to trips with strangers yet. I also brought you some dog food. Don't give him too much at once. If he didn't eat for a few days, he might not digest it properly. Anyway, what will you do with him? I don't know yet. When I found him, I just had to help him. I just had to help him. I didn't have much time to think about what to do with him later. I don't feel like giving him away to a shelter. Maybe you could take him? He seemed to trust you. I would love to have a dog, but you know fully well that I can't, Jack. Don't tempt me. Why not? You seem to be doing pretty well these days and... No. Just no. You don't know how serious my debts are. I won't take responsibility for a living creature when I can't predict if I'll be able to pay my own bills next month. Wow. How does a young guy like you got into such debt? Well, long story short, back when I was still studying, me and my brother took over the father's company. It was in pretty bad shape, but we were sure we could restore it and start making money again. I even dropped out of college to have enough time to make it work. It didn't work out. The amount of work had overwhelmed both of us. But we didn't want to give up. We were stubborn people, me and my brother. Eventually, we went to a bank for a loan. That's how we ended up in debt. At one point, my brother decided that it was all my fault, that I hadn't done enough, that I was slacking. He accused me of all his bad decisions. I snapped and left. I've taken his gun with me. A few months later, I ended up here. Huh, wow, sounds rough. Yeah. I doubt there's anything worse than losing your close one's support. Sometimes it's better to leave than to manage with a tough person. Well, I mean, if you can't make it and your brothers, then yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. But hey, it's all water under the bridge. Unless my brother comes to me after me to collect his gun. I didn't know you own a gun. Well, I need to look after my business. You never know. So, what do you intend to do with the dog? Actually, I was talking with Hope about adopting a dog yesterday, right before we started arguing. You seem to argue with your family a lot recently. I can sense your anger, Jack. What is it with people and talking about my anger? Oh, really? What was it? Does my aura give it away? See, it comes out again. Doesn't matter if you believe me or not. Well, I don't believe you. Anyway, Hope accused me of not spending enough time with her. So I was thinking maybe getting her a dog would be a good way of reconnecting with her. Sounds like what she needs is your love, not a pet. The dog was just her way of drawing your attention. I know. But it seems like a good start, right? Sure. Any reason to spend more time with your kid is good. You should give the dog a name. A name. Coming up with a name was always tricky. I would have taken weeks if I was to really think about it though. I decided to just go with that to what came to my mind. I looked at the dog. He tilted his head. The first idea was pretty simple. Odin, the Norse god of war, victory and hunting. It was a good, strong name. Aw, so the dog is called Odin now. Well, maybe he doesn't like to be called Odin, I don't know. The second name that came to me was Xander. As a boy, I really hated history, but I always had listened about Alexander the Great. It seemed more thrilling than the rest of the subjects. I wouldn't mind naming a dog after him. The last idea emerged when I thought about Hope. Wait, he's giving the dog 3 freaking names, or what's the deal? That was my favorite movie. What was this favorite movie of hers called? Dragon Prince, right? And where's the dragon, there must be a brave knight to defeat it. This guy here was big enough to be called Knight. I decided to go with Odin, Xander, or Knight. Okay, well, Odin is a little bit too pretentious, I think, for a dog. Like, Xander, I don't know. Xander sounds like a Bernie bro. Knight though? Knight sounds like a strong dog name. I'll name him Knight. It fits him well. By the way, Jack, there's one more thing I need to tell you. Don't tell me you and Nat have an affair. I would have to shoot you right here. Please don't. I still got my debts to pay off. What is it then? There was this chick at the station asking for Hal. She said she knew you. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, she was just a chick I met and wanted to help. She seemed out of place. At first I thought she was some kind of junkie. She gave me this really weird feeling. She was shivering too. Anyway, Hal took her to the station, so she's not my problem anymore. But that's not all. Another woman arrived last evening asking after the chick. There was something about her, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And boy, was she a stunner. You should have seen her. She was lean like a doe. What was I saying? The other woman? Oh, yeah. She asked about the military base. I thought she might be a spook or something. A spook? Have you been watching too many action flicks, Chief? I'm telling you, man, something's going down. So many new soldiers arrived yesterday. Now this woman. There was also a guy with a briefcase this morning and he... Hold up, Bob. You're getting carried away. It's just another weekend in town. Only with some outsiders driving through. Yeah, you're probably right. I better get back. Got a business to run. See you later, Chief. When Bob left, I approached Knight. Well, let me say first before you approached anyone. Okay. Always time to save. Okay. I decided to try Bob's trick to see if I can get a similar result. Who do you think you are, Caesar Milan? Come on. I clicked my tongue and extended my hand. At first the dog just sniffed my palm, reluctant to do anything more. But after a brief moment of hesitation, he licked my fingers. I took it as a good sign. It was a start. So does this mean we're friends now? I scratched his head, causing a lot of tail wagging. It was just as I had thought. He was a lapdog. His previous aggression must have been caused by a mix of fear and pain. As I patted him on his head, he was nothing more but a giant pet, a pet with a jaw full of fangs and enough biting force to take your hand off. Still, a pet. Hope would love him for sure. Funny that I came here to escape from all the tensions with Natalie, but thanks to my new friend, I wanted to go back. I wanted to see the surprise on their faces. I wanted to see how happy Hope would be and how Natalie, unsure at first, would change her mind as soon as she saw them playing together. I knew it wouldn't dissolve any of our issues, that I would still need to face my shortcomings. The doll gave me a starting point though. I knew what to do and had the confidence to do it. It didn't took Knight long to start frolicking around. I wasn't against a little wrestle playing, but knowing that the wound on his neck was still pretty fresh, I tried to do it as carefully as possible. Yet, when nearly 30 kilos of deadly fluffiness jumped you, I got overturned in a moment. I was too afraid to grab the dog by the skin. Soon I regretted I hadn't done it, as a little play caused additional cost. I heard a loud crack near my right pocket. Oh, your phone. Oh, buddy, stop, that's enough. No, Knight, enough, sit! When I finally managed to get from under the dog, I reached into my pocket only to find that my phone took the whole enterprise pretty badly. The screen was covered in cracks, the battery went loose, and the frame above the speaker was smashed. For a second I thought it was done for. Fortunately, as soon as I put the battery back in, the phone came back to life. The case was cracked, but it was still usable. In the end, I decided to call it a night. It had been a long day. I planned on going for a hunt in the morning, so hitting the bed early was crucial. Oh, another in the meantime. In the meantime, somewhere else. Reporting in. This is not a scheduled call, Agent. The woman got away. No one told me what to expect of her. She attacked several people at the hospital. I saw her. Calm down, Agent. This wasn't in the briefing. The girl basically bit her way out of the hospital and jumped off a third-story window. She was like mad. I've never seen anything like that, and others... The locals were shocked. Sheriff wants to organize a manhunt. I've already seen soldiers from the military base moving around the town. The town will undergo quarantine in a matter of 2 hours. This should make your second task easier. Your briefing? Listen to me. If what she's carrying is infectious, your quarantine won't be able to contain it. People will die. I need to find her. Calm down, Agent. Focus on your second target and let us do our parts. Wow. So maybe she's contagious with she has human rabies. Okay. What about my extraction? You'll figure something out. Your task is to secure the scientist and get him out alive. And the second asset? He's none of your concern. Find the scientist. Get him out alive. Bring him to us. Do not fail this time. We would be very sorry to see you go. Damn, that sounds like a threat. That definitely sounds like a freaking threat. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Save. It was still dark outside when I woke up. Knight was sleeping on the carpet near the fireplace. I rolled my eyes and reached down for the phone to check the time. Huh. Weird. Since the battery is dead. I was pretty sure it was around 40% the evening before. It seemed impossible to have discharged overnight. I must have forgotten to turn it off or something. There was nothing I could do about it now. I plugged the charger in and went to wake up my new friend. Hey buddy, are you up? Are you in for a hunt? Come on, you like it. I could use some help. Think you're up for it? I think that's a yes. That's more like it. To be honest, I had no idea if taking Knight was a good idea. There was a pretty big chance he would scare all the animals away. People often hunted with their hounds, but you needed to know how to train your dog for it. Worst case scenario, we would just have a nice stroll around the forest. I took my pocket knife, my rifle, and a piece of bandage with me. I wanted to be prepared better than the day before. I knew the area surrounding the cabin pretty well. I had a general idea where deers tended to roam. Even if I couldn't shoot any, it was always great to spot one. That's what I had tried to communicate to Bob. It's not about the shot, it's about the hunt. We were walking quietly for half an hour. I was thinking about the guy who had left Knight. I had no respect for such a person. I remembered the rope. It must have belonged to a climber or someone walking with boots. With boats, not boots. What am I saying? Jesus, bastard. Suddenly, Knight stopped and started sniffing around. I knew he must have caught a trace. I had the feeling he was a real predator after all. I decided to trust his instinct. A dog's sense of smell could guide you to places you would otherwise miss. He stood still for a moment, focused on one direction. He began to growl, but I couldn't see anything. The dog began to run. I struggled to keep up with him. I was trying to guess what we both were up against, a bear or a deer, or something else. However, what I saw was a person. A young man in a blue sport jacket and a baseball hat. Silver carabiners at his belt rattled as he walked. Compared to me, he made a hell lot of noise. Maybe this is the second asset? Maybe. I had never seen him before. What I did recognize though was the place we were in. The same place where I found Knight the day before. Before I had the chance to connect the dots, all hell broke loose. The two of us weren't the only people around. There was someone else. Someone I didn't expect to see again. It was that woman from the gas station, Jane. She was moving extremely fast. She ran up to the unsuspecting guy and jumped right on top of him, knocking him down. She leaned down towards his arm and bit him, right? What? She bit him, right? Dude? Hello? That's when the screaming started. At first, I couldn't really comprehend what was going on. My mind tried to come up with some kind of explanation. Maybe they were just fooling around. Maybe it was some stupid charade. Maybe I was daydreaming. It took some time before the reality of what has happened hit me, what was happening hit me fully. I will never forget that sight. Jane bit a part of the guy's arm off and swallowed it. I saw her face. She was covered in blood when she bent down again to sink her teeth on the guy's throat. It was no longer a human face. She was devouring a living person. Can you imagine it? The guy was screaming in pain. He was trying to push her off but didn't have enough strength. When she reached for the neck, it was already too late for him. Soon the screaming was replaced with gargling and gnarling. I couldn't move. I was paralyzed with fear. Knight reacted first. He lunged at Jane, clenching his jaws on her hand. Oh, poor dog. I don't know where her strength came from, but she tore the dog's jaws open and threw him away, as if he was a paper doll. That's when she noticed me. Even though there was more than 20 meters between us, I could see her eyes. They weren't human anymore. She wasn't human. She was something else. There was nothing in her face beside a primal rage. It was ancient fury of a wild beast in its most basic form. Okay, that sounds pretty scary. Are we going to run or what? She lunged at me. Her moves were quickly and determined. She caught up with me before I had time to think. Moments like this make you act on your instincts. Shoot her. I never gave it a conscious thought. I raised my rifle. My body acted on its own, recognizing the familiar motion. I aimed and took one shot. For a split second my mind became crystal clear. I wasn't sure if it would make any difference. I breathed out and waited the sentence. It was enough. I shot her right in the chest and through a lung. She was squirming on the grass, whimpering. As her breath grew desperate and her moves sluggish, she started crying. When I shot animals, I always made sure they didn't suffer. If my shot missed its mark, I shot again. But this was different. I stood above a young woman crying from pain. A woman who tried to eat a man alive a few seconds prior. A woman who I met 2 days earlier. What was I supposed to do? Alright, okay, this is... okay. Let's go for a... Actually, wait. Livestream 04. Yeah, let's see. Shoot her again, run away, try to help her, knock her out. I kept my rifle close when I approached her. As long as she was conscious, the danger wasn't gone. She moved. I panicked and punched her hard with the bottom of my rifle. I knocked her out immediately. I waited for a few seconds before I realized she wasn't getting up. This was my chance. Search her. I had to know what was going on. My first thought was to look for any piece of clue I could find. I searched her pockets, but the only thing I found was a torn paper bracelet from the hospital. Then I remembered. She must have been that junkie case Natalie had told me about on the phone. My mind started to race. Had Natalie and this woman met? Was Natalie safe? What had happened at the hospital? I had to know. Still, I had to deal with the woman first. Huh, okay. Let's, okay, let's do what exactly? Let's... Search her again? I took another close look. She looked normal, apart from her eyes. No change on her skin or face. I wonder how she managed to take a bite of the other guy with her own teeth. Was a human being really capable of such a thing? Apart from the paper bracelet, she didn't have anything else on her. No papers, no wallet, no ID card. I looked at her arms. Beside all the blood, I could see several needle marks, as if she had been on a drip for a long time. Even if she had been, even if she was the patient Natalie had told me about, it didn't explain all the marks. I wondered how she got them. Was there anything else I could do? Okay, one final look. As I looked at her again, I had the feeling there is something more. There was another mark on her forearm. A wound. It seems as if someone had bitten her pretty hard. Who could have done that? Had she attacked yet another person? Had somebody bitten her in self-defense? Or had she bitten herself? But why? That was crazy! I didn't feel like examining her anymore. Okay, let's save. And I'm going to leave her. The woman was wheezing and trembling. Her eyes moved around rapidly. I couldn't stand to look anymore. I made sure she wouldn't hurt anyone else. There was no need for me to fight her anymore. I closed my eyes and walked away. As I was walking, I could still hear her breathing, choking and coughing. I felt terrible, but I knew I couldn't shoot her. I had no idea what was going on. There was no way for me to help her. The first thought that came after was Natalie. I touched my pockets, feeling for my cell phone. I need to get back to the cabin. So as I decided to head back to the cabin, I heard a quiet whine. I looked around frantically, searching for Knight. He was nearby, whimpering softly and licking the face of the now dead man. I wondered if that was his former owner. If so, what was he doing here? Had he come to end his unfinished business, too afraid that someone would find out? Or maybe he had a change of heart and came to get his dog back. Guess we'll never know. I called out to Knight and started running back. He followed me, limping. After getting hit like that, it was no wonder. I had no idea what was going on and why the woman attacked me. The only thing I knew was for certain was that I needed to call Natalie. I had to make sure she was safe. There was no time to waste. I picked up the pace. Alright. Oh, sorry, let me see. 25. 25, 22. Okay. Well, actually, wait 1 second. Let me just see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. The sight of massacre was still fresh in my head. With all my might, I tried to think about something else, but the memory of blood and torn out fragments of flesh was haunting me relentlessly. It was like a horror movie playing over and over again, right in front of your eyes. My stomach turned upside down whenever I thought about what happened. I couldn't believe I left her like that. I felt my self-image crashing down on me. For a second, I could picture my father scolding me in my head. Like there was anything else I could have done. No, dude, it's good that you left her there, come on. Because then if you shot her again, if anyone found her, it would be like, oh, why did you shoot her twice? You shoot someone in self-defense once, maybe. But, you know, it's probably not going to be, you know, as easy to explain someone shooting the woman twice. I always wonder how I would have behaved faced with a similar situation during wartime. Would I be able to shoot my own brothers in arms, or would I just walk away? Now I knew. I could still hear her wheezing in my head. Even though I had walked all the way back to my cabin, I could still picture her mad face. Even if I had restrained her, what was I supposed to do later? I needed to talk to someone. I needed to talk with Natalie. God, I missed her. My hands shook when I reached my phone. I unplugged it from the charger and pushed the power button. I wanted to make the call immediately, but as soon as my phone came back to life, I got flooded with messages. Missed call, missed call, missed call, voice message, missed call, missed call. There were at least a dozen of unread messages. They are all from yesterday. How was it possible for me to miss so many calls? When I looked back at the phone, I realized how. Back when I was playing with Night, the screen wasn't the only thing that got smashed. I must have somehow damaged the speaker. The phone must have been constantly ringing. I just didn't hear it. That would also explain why it was discharged in the morning. But who was calling me so many times and why? I need to hear the voicemail, but the speaker wasn't working. I did the silliest thing that came to my mind. I punched the goddamn thing. You know what? It worked! I quickly connected with my voicemail. You have 4 new messages. First new message. Message recording on Saturday, 11:48 p.m. Jack? Please pick up the phone. This junkie they brought in yesterday, she snapped. I mean, God. She attacked some of the staff. There were only 3 of us. Another nurse and Dr. J because got bitten and scratched. I've never seen anything like that. I'm okay, but she jumped out the window and vanished. I'm worried about Hope. I'll be heading back. Call me back soon. I need you. I need you so much. Please let me know that you're alright. Second new message. Message recording on Sunday, 12:15 a.m. Jack, pick up the phone, please. Why didn't you call me back? You need to get back here, Jack. The people I've told you about are getting worse. Some of them got terrible fever. One got really aggressive and we need to sedate them. Something's not right. Please call me back as soon as you get this. I'm scared. Third new message. Message recorded on Sunday, 1:32 a.m. Jack! I can hear gunshots here in the hospital. I need to get back here right now. I'm so scared, Jack. Oh no. Ah! Fourth new message. Message recording on Sunday, 4:56 a.m. I'm coming for you, Jack. I've left Hope with... Stay where you are. Signal. The message ended abruptly. Then it hit me. Sunday, 4:56 was 3 hours ago. All this had already happened. And Natalie... Whoa! Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. Going through the barrier. Oh, maybe not. Oh, good. That's not good. She's alone in the forest, wounded. That is not good. Wait. Let's save. 25 here. After the voicemail stopped playing, I just stood there staring at the screen. I guess I needed a moment to process what had happened. As soon as I snapped out of my stupor, I knew that I had to find Nat. Nat, what? My first instinct was to call her, but my phone had had enough. The goddamn machine broke completely. The screen went black and wouldn't respond to me pressing the keys. Knight seemed to sense my distress. He came closer, woofing. Woofing! He was woofing! Do you want to help me, buddy? I had little choice. I took Knight and went off. I knew that Natalie had been coming for me and I knew the route she must have taken. It was a long road, but I had no other means of finding her. With the dog at my side, I clung to what little hope I had left. I scarcely remember getting into the car and setting off. Sweat trickled down my back the entire way. I wasn't speeding only because I was worried I might miss her. Eventually, I found a roadster. Crashed beside the road. I parked there and went out. Natalie was nowhere to be seen. My heart skipped a beat as I scanned the surroundings. My thoughts scrambled. I couldn't bear the thought that the last memory of Natalie would have Natalie would have of me would be that of an absent jerk. that our argument would be the last time we saw each other. I had to find her. I had to find her and make things right. But all of my determination and effort, Knight was the one who found her. He darted off the road and into the forest. I followed. I didn't think much. It was an instinct. I guess I just trusted him. It didn't take long. He didn't even move far from the car before I saw her stumbling between the trees. She didn't seem to recognize me. Her eyes were dazed, her skin dead pale. I didn't know what to do. She was wounded. I could see it, a piece of her shirt wrapped around her arm. I had left her again. I wasn't there when she needed me most. What was I to tell her? Well, definitely not snap at her, dude. Okay, wait. Alright. Calm her. Nat! Jack! Where were you, Jack? Natalie, I'm sorry, where are you? I'm right here. It's going to be alright, I'm here. I cradled her. She shook in my arms but calmed down a little. Jack, is that you? Yes, it's me, sweetie. I'm so sorry I broke the car. Forget about the car, silly. Everything will be fine. I could see her shiver. At first I thought it was because of the car crash or her wound. Then realization hit me. We were in the middle of the forest, the place that Natalie truly feared. Yet she still came here for me, after all I'd done and said and done. She was an angel of courage. What happened? In the hospital, you wouldn't believe me. Try me. They brought in a young woman with strange symptoms, weak but explosive. She had a bite mark on her forearm. We thought she might have autodestructive impulses. She said she was hungry, but she wouldn't touch any food. We put her on a drip. We didn't know how else to help her. One day later, Dr. Jacobs came to check on her and she snapped. She scratched and bit him, and the nurse would try to restrain her. She dashed out of the room and attacked several other patients. When security guards tried to shoot her, she jumped out of the window. From the third story. Then she fled. I have no idea what happened to her. We took care of Dr. Jacobs and the patients, but things got weird. I felt queasy. I didn't like where it was going. Still, I had to ask. I felt queasy. Weird how? They got terrible fever. We couldn't bring it down and... Sheriff declared a manhunt. He mobilized officers. I think the military got involved too. They set up checkpoints. For some reason, it seems like they're trying to keep people in. Then there was this woman. It's hard to say who she was. I swear to God, I was sure she was my co-worker. But it turned out she wasn't. I don't know who she was. What about you? Are you hurt? I'm fine. I was worried about you. Why didn't you call me back? My throat clenched when I thought about what had happened in the morning. How Natalie's patient ended up. I shouldn't lie to Nat. There was already too much blood between us. Bad blood between us. She deserved my honesty. Then again, after all she went through, wouldn't it be even more cruel to her to tell her what had happened? No, of course it wouldn't. I swallowed and decided to tell her everything. Obviously, genius. Obviously, tell her everything. I told her how I found Knight and how he broke my phone. What came next was more difficult. I had to tell Nat what became of her patient, how I found her, and that she was too far gone to save her. That I had to shoot her in self-defense. If Natalie had been pale before, now she was sickly. I didn't know if it was because of what Jane had turned into, or because of what I had done. At any rate, it wasn't the worst of it. Natalie interrupted me only once. God, I didn't think... How could that happen? I have no idea. It was as if she turned into an animal. But she was human, Jack. Only 2 hours ago. I know, Nat, but listen. I didn't have any choice. I had to defend myself. I understand. She attacked me, Nat, not the other way around, remember that. The worst part was at the end. I had to confess that I had left the woman out there, wounded and dying. You know what, if she's dead, then that's good. But I didn't have enough guts to tell her, I didn't have guts to end her misery. Something I would have done for an animal without hesitation, I wasn't able to do for a person. Well, I know if she's dead, so it doesn't matter. I couldn't read Natalie's face when I told her. Was she proud or disappointed? Either way, we had more important things on our minds than dwelling on the past. What happened with Hope? Is she still at home? God, no! I couldn't leave her alone! I took her with me, but she was scared, and I thought... I didn't know what happened to you. I was worried that we might find... So I dropped her at Bob's. He promised to take care of her, and I trust him. We're supposed to meet outside the town. Well, shoot me. For a moment back then, I felt relief. I thought that regardless of what happened to me and Nat, at least our daughter was safe. I didn't know anything. Oh, Bob's dead! What the hell? Oh, come on. Bob was the other agent, maybe. What the hell happened here? Oh, crap. End of part 1. So, everyone, that was Perseverance part 1. I was actually expecting more stuff. Maybe the full game is gonna be 3 hour long. But it's interesting. I mean, okay, so it definitely leaves everything in a cliffhanger because you don't know what happened with, you know, with Hope, your daughter. You don't know if, you know, if Jane, the crazy woman that turned into an animal, survived. You know who the agent is. You don't, and I'm guessing the second part you'll play as the agent and maybe figure stuff out, and later on you'll meet with Jack, and I don't know, but it's that was Perseverance, everyone. Perseverance part 1. If you're interested in playing it, it's pretty cheap. Yeah, I think you can still get it for the launch discount, so you can get it for $261. After that, it's gonna be $349, so it's $350. It's only $350, so it's really cheap for, you know, maybe an hour and a half. Well, maybe 2 hour game. Let's say a 2 hour game, because it'll probably take you a bit longer to go through it. You know, if you try out and I would. It's probably going to be over 2 hours, because you would maybe you know, save and try other options, see what those lead to. And yeah, I'm not really sure when part 2 is coming out, but hopefully it's not going to be long, because I'd like to see what's going on and what's going to happen with Jack and the mystery agent and Natalie and Hope. And, you know, just as long as they survive, or maybe it's just going to be a zombie apocalypse and, you know, everything will end in death. You know what's interesting in this, with this image? Look at that. So this would be what? This would be Jack, and he's holding a necklace. And I'm guessing this was Natalie's segment, necklace. Sorry. So I'm thinking that she's going to die. And that's what I think, that she is going to die in part 2, and you'll have to deal with that, you and Hope. But no, we'll have to see. For now, everyone, that was Perseverance part 1 from Tapit Games. You can find it on Steam right now for Windows. Just see the link in the description below. I wish there was more, obviously, but, you know, other than that, it's an intriguing storyline. I mean, it does have the, you know, maybe rogue virus, you know, rogue patient survives and then bites stuff and becomes crazy and eats people, and it's kind of like a zombie type thing. So, you know, it's, I'm not sure how predictable it would be, but it does seem familiar to some extent, the storyline, because of the, you know, people experimenting, taking, you know, weird drugs, having crazy side effects. So that won't be the first game to tackle that. But pretty interesting, so hopefully we'll get to see part 2 soon. Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you like this live stream, please give it a thumbs up real quick. And if you like what I do here, consider subscribing and telling other people who are interested in PC gaming, of course, about youtube.com/cryptichybrid. I do gameplay videos, developer interviews, live streams. I put up a gameplay video earlier today, and I'm going to work on maybe a couple more to publish today. So please check out the channel, subscribe if you haven't. You know, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers right now, since, you know, I passed 1,000. And you can also support me in other ways by, for example, using the affiliate links in the description below. I have Amazon and Humble Store affiliate links, so if you use those services at any point in time, those sites, those services, then please just bookmark the appropriate link in the description, and whenever you use those links to make purchases, you help me and the channel out without paying anything extra. So it's, you know, it's a very small thing. It costs you absolutely nothing, more than 2 seconds to bookmark something, and it can go a long way. So please, if you can, use those links. And yeah, that was it, everyone. Hopefully that wasn't too disturbing for a Monday. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow for a new live stream. Until the next time we see each other, thanks again and have an awesome day.